In the late 1950s, community and school leaders in Mason recognized that they had a baby boom on their hands and they needed a new school for our community's teens. Al Voorhis was the architect leading the way in constructing Mason High School in the building that's now today's middle school.
We walked through today and I brought some of the old original drawings that he had done back in 1958, 1959, and we looked at how many additions there's been on the building, and it was really fun pulling out all the old archive out of our archives at our office, back on the shelf, pulled out all the old drawings, and actually there was a bunch of people at our office kind of was gathering around and looking because we had just finished up this job, and everybody was really interested in what was originally here and how small the building was at the time, and then how it's progressed through the years. So we just had a great time walking through and looking at the stuff and looking at some of the old drawings. Here's some drawings probably that you recognize.
Yes, I recognize it.
Recognize those? Those are dated back on July 30th of 1958. And this was the original Mason High School that you hand drew on Mylars. And it's all done with pencil. This is the whole building and it's color coded. This was the original building that was constructed in 1958, and it's in the blue area. It was 31,000 square feet at the time when it was built, and now the building is about 275,000 square feet. So it's been added on to a number of times. Another real interesting fact about it is when this building was built, it cost about $12.50 a square foot to construct. If you were to build a new building or a new high school today, they cost about $235 a square foot. So you can tell the inflation from 1959 up to current standards.
As more families moved to Mason, more school additions were needed to keep up with all those new Comets. For 6 decades, the Voorhis family has been at the helm of Mason City Schools building projects, with son Jim taking the lead on the new Mason High School, the new Mason Early Childhood Center, and the total renovation of Mason Middle School.
He started basically by himself and did all the schools as they were coming online, and then as the firm grew, we continued to do the work, and I came on then, and here we are. It's always neat to walk on projects you've had a personal interest in and have grown up with, and it was actually really neat as we were doing the construction of this building, when they took down all the ceilings and took down lockers and stuff. It's just neat to see the old construction, and it kind of brings back memories even when I was in high school, some of the old auto shop areas and some of the wood shop areas that were there when I was in school. So some of those things were kind of uncovered as we went through the renovation this time, which was really interesting.
Well, it's really fun to look at it. It's very interesting and it's a beautiful job.
It is.
And glad to see it all.
Today, we celebrate Mason Middle School's transformation and the completion of a significant 20-year plan to educate our community's children in high-quality schools.
20 years ago, when we decided to join the Ohio School Facilities Commission, we had to look really hard at those decisions and decide whether those decisions were going to be in the best interest of our families and, most importantly, our students. We decided to remain in that program, and it has paid for 80% of the current renovation and building throughout the district, 80% paid for by the tobacco settlement through the state of Ohio, and our taxpayers did not have to bear that burden. I'm honored to have served in the community for the past 20 years, and I'm excited to see what our renovations have done and how we are able to serve today's learners, and I'm so excited to see what is down the road for our future Mason Comets.